Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're doing a backup camera on this 2007 Nissan 350Z. Now in this install we're going to integrate this backup camera to our rear view mirror. Let's get started. Now, before we jump into things, a couple of things to note. Our 350Z is the Roadster, it's the convertible. So we're not a hardtop here, we're not the coupe. But the technique that we're doing today should be almost exactly the same. Usually we integrate our backup cameras to an existing touchscreen radio that's in the dash. In this case, the customer has a tablet in the dash, and so instead of integrating to that, we're just doing a rear view mirror backup camera kit that has a built-in DVR. But we will make some notes in case you want to integrate a backup camera to an existing touchscreen radio you may already have installed. Without further ado, let's head over to the bench to show you the kit that we're using in today's install. Alright, so the camera kit that we're going with, it should be everything included within the kit. And today we're doing this AutoVox camera. It's the V5 Pro, and essentially here this camera monitor, not only does it go to the factory location, but it literally replaces your mirror. A lot of kits on the market clip onto the back of the mirror, keeping your existing mirror. This one totally replaces it. You can link both versions, whether it's a clip-on or a full mirror replacement like this one, in the description of the video. This kit's going to come with the monitor itself, has the built-in camera on the back here, recording while driving, a built-in dash cam, it's really nice. Additionally, here it comes with your main wiring harness, secondary camera harness for power and ground and making all your connections. Also comes with a GPS antenna that better and more accurately tracks your location as you're recording content on your DVR dash cam. Comes with some various mounts and brackets depending on which vehicle this is going into. Finally, we have our camera itself. Now this is just a flat surface universal camera mount, but what we're going to do in our install today is upgrade it to a license plate mountable camera, because in our 350Z there's no center location to mount this. In the center is a button for the trunk release, and on the sides of the license plate are the lights itself. So there's no flat location. So we're going to convert this, and it's just going to mount back behind the license plate, so we don't have to make any drill or any cuts or any custom modification to the bumper itself. What we're going to do here is get everything pulled apart, start planning our location. We need to remove the current mirror, which we'll show you in a minute. It takes a T20 torque screw to remove, and once that's on out of the way, this can clip in its place. Now, taking a closer look at the harness itself, this is your power harness. The other harness is your video harness for the backup camera. Power harness for the mirror actually has two built-in fuses. Your constant 12 volt, which essentially needs to be on a circuit that's on all the time, essentially straight from the battery. And then your red wire here with this inline fuse is your accessory circuit or ignition, or it's only on when the key is on and it shuts off. Now it comes with these bolt connector ends here, and it comes with some corresponding ADA circuits. These ADA circuits are awesome here. You essentially will find in the fuse box the circuit that has the power source that we're looking for. We remove the fuse in there, put it in this ADA circuit, pop this in place, keeps that factory circuit intact, and then we can plug in our wiring as such. You have a ground here, you have a connection for your GPS antenna, and you have your connection for your backup camera. Now the nice thing is it runs with just a single cable. So this essentially will run from the mirror itself across the headliner area down into the E-pillar, where we can run it down into the kick panel. So we have that length of wire here. GPS antenna, we'll find a good place to get that mounted and plugged in. And then our camera harness here, one end's going to plug into our power harness, the other end's going to plug into the camera itself. Now it also has an inline trigger wire. This is super important for us to connect to the backup camera positive wire. And the reason is we got to tell our reverse camera to turn on whenever we're going in reverse, and it's going to cycle the mirror over to the reverse image automatically as soon as you put the car into reverse when you're backing up. Manual here does come with quite a bit of information of how to hook that up, but we're going to walk you through step by step. Next, we need to get our camera converted over to a license plate mount. So we're going to pull our universal bracket out, get it mounted up, and we'll head out of the car to start getting that installed. All right, so we got that all converted over with the kit there. Comes with the screwdriver with the kit, which makes it nice. This is done. Let's head out of the car to start running our backup camera wiring. So what we found here as we pull this apart is our main grommet that goes through the back here wall. What we're going to do is open that up. As you can see, you see right through. So we're going to poke a hole through this so our wire still seals. Feed our wire. And that's where our wire, so we feed it through the bumper, will pass through into the trunk of the vehicle. All right, so we went ahead and move that grommet. We just poked a hole and ran our wire through it, and basically goes just right through to the license plate area. Super convenient. So we can now reseat this harness here, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to run our wiring along the factory wiring here. Now remember that red line off our main harness here. We have to go to the reverse light, which is down here in the bumper. Now, hopefully we can actually access that reverse light positive from inside here, but we'll check it out and come right on back. Got our camera all mounted. Now we can just get the plate back on. We've got this pulled apart, and the same principle applies. There's a few more clips holding in our inner carpet, and that's going to expose a ton of space here. We don't actually have to remove the light because we can access the wiring from inside. Now, there is a bottom support piece. It literally is just sitting in there. So nice thing is for us, at least in our case, that came on out. Yours may be held down with a nut. Looks like this has been in an accident before with all this metal repair work inside. So in our case, it just came on out and coming in tight. So there is all the wiring that goes to our reverse lights, and this super light green is our reverse light positive wire. So what we did here is we actually stripped it back without breaking that, and we just soldered on our little red wire right to that lead. That's going to allow us to snag that reverse trigger wire so it can cycle over our display to the reverse mode as soon as we're backing up. So we're going to wrap that up with some electrical tape, relume that harness here, and that makes that connection. What we've done here is we obviously have to zip tie and clean this up a little bit here. Came along and ran along the factory loom here all the way down. We ran it up through this passage here. Now in this case, since we have the soft top or the roadster or the convertible, whatever you want to call it, we put it up about halfway. And what that's going to do is open this cavity. Now there's just a few clips holding this in. This one just popped on out. There's a clip here. What that did is allow us to pull that up, and we have the access. So we ran our wiring there, zip tied along that loom, continued along, just moving this up and out of the way, moved it there. We found a little space down through here. We opened this just barely, undid two of the clips by pulling this back. We have access to run our wire down here. So that's how we got it from the trunk area to this point of the kick panel. What we need to do at this point is tape up that one connection. We're going to finish zip tying it, and we're going to reassemble the trunk here. All right, so this is all back together here. Put this trim panel back on, ran our wire up underneath the carpet to the kick panel. So next, now we fed that wire up and we popped down our lights. They're just really held on with clips all the way around. Then what we did is we fed our wire up here, and this is where it came out. And then we made our connection to our harness, and we just tucked it up underneath here. We popped our 8-pillar panel off here. There's a clip here and a clip here. and it just tabs down below. Ran that wire all the way down through the dash down to the kick panel. So with this connection made, and since we're no longer using or utilizing our factory harness, we can tuck this all inside this pocket and reassemble this piece. All right, so we got that all reassembled here. Our wire goes through the factory hole. Again, we just tucked it up here, ran it down, A-pillar back on. But before we do, we did install our Bluetooth here. We still got to put the double-sided tape there. But that goes there, just tucked it along, and also down through the A-pillar hole. You can actually see all the way through, which is a nice little passageway to allow us to run our wire to make our connections at the fuse box. Now down here is where we're going to make all our connections. So our harness and everything came down here, and this is what is familiar to you that we used here on the bench to show you exactly where we make our connections. So 3 connections here at the fuse box: constant, accessory, and ground. So constant, remember, is this yellow one. We went ahead and found the factory fuse box here, and our radio fuse is this guy with the blue 15 fuse in that position there. And we inserted it with the cord facing down, with the cable facing down. And what we did is we pulled that 15 amp fuse out, stuck it into the empty slot of the ATA circuit, slid this thing on in. That is done, and it retains that factory radio fuse. That connects into our yellow wire here. Second connection is accessory, and it's that one. That one was empty, fortunately for us. It's that guy right there, this top guy. And again, same principle. We didn't have to remove any fuse, so we didn't have to put any in its place, but we just slid that one in with the wire going up, and that connects into this red wire, which is our accessory wire. Try to get a little bit closer shot here for you. And finally, this is our dash support bracket. It's bare metal, and it's a perfect location. So I loosened that screw, slipped the ring terminal back behind there, and just tightened it down onto this metal bracket. Now we started zip tying everything together. So we have our GPS, our ground, our constant 12 volt, our accessory, and our wire that goes all the way up to the mirror. So what we're going to do at this point of time is start zip tying everything. This is our backup camera cable. We had a ton left over, but we made that connection there. So this goes all the way from the reverse camera. We're going to bundle this all right here in this location and get this cleaned on up. All right, so we get this all reassembled here. Got our kick panels all back on, everything cleaned up. Got our dash cam all done. Front camera, rear camera, which is really cool that you'll have that view. It looks OEM and factory as it bolts onto that factory location. Now, like I said before, generally we traditionally do backup cameras to the radio, but in this case we don't have a radio, we have a tablet. It's a tablet kit. So if you want to see how we did this tablet kit, we don't do a step-by-step. It's more so just a time lapse, just because the manufacturer of the kit itself does all of that on our behalf. This allows us now to install this big Galaxy tablet in this factory location. The link on this AutoVox backup camera kit, we'll link that down in the video here for you. Hopefully this video was helpful in order to run the wiring and make all your connections. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you like what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. I post great content on the channel all the time, and we'll see you in the next video.